A man buys rupees 50 shares in a company which pays 10% dividend. If the man gets 12.5% on his investment, at what price did he buy the shares? So the man gets 12.5% on his investment. So I can say that the rate of interest, that is the interest percentage, is 12.5. So 12.5 is equals to, now what is the formula for interest? And that's the gain upon the investment, right? And because this is a percentage, we multiply it by 100. Now what do we want here? We want the price at which the man bought the shares. That means the market price of one share. So I can say that this can be modified, this formula can be modified to, I can write this as gain on one share upon investment on one share, isn't it? Now what is gain? Gain is basically the dividend, right? And how is dividend calculated? Well, dividend is calculated on the face value, and we have been given the face value of the shares, that's rupees 50. So dividend is 10%, so I can say that dividend on one share is equals to 10%, that is 10 by 100 of the face value times 50, right? So 5 times 2 is 10 and 10 by 2 is 5. So the dividend is 5 rupees. That means the gain on one share is 5 rupees, right? Let us put that here. So I have 12.5 is equals to gain is 5 times 100 divided by investment on one share is the market value. So that is MV. So MV, that is what we have to find, is equal to 500 by 12.5, right? And that will come out as 40 rupees. So the price at which the man bought the shares is 40 rupees, and that is option B. 9,800 rupees are invested partly in 9% stock at 75 and 10% stock at 80 to have equal amounts of incomes. What is the investment in 9% stock? So we have 9% stock at 75 and we have 10% stock at 80. Let us say that the amount invested in the 9% stock is X rupees, right? So the amount invested in 10% stock will be the total amount invested minus X. So 9800 minus X, right? Now let us calculate the number of stocks required to be purchased, right? So N here is equals to the total investment upon investment on one stock. That is the total investment upon the market price, the market value of one stock, that is 75. So X by 75 is the number of shares in 9% stock, and the number of shares in 10% stock will be equals to, I have 9,800 minus X upon 80, right? 80 is the market value. Now let us calculate the dividend in each case. So in 9% stock, the dividend will be equals to, in this case I'm talking the total dividend. So the dividend, total dividend, will be equal to the dividend on one stock times the number of stocks, right? So N times dividend on one stock. N is X by 75 times the dividend on one stock. So 9 is the dividend that is obtained on the face value of 100 rupees. So times 9, right? Here the dividend will be equals to 9800 minus X divided by 80 times the dividend is 10 on rupees 100 face value. So times 10, right? Now it is said that the income from both of these various stocks should be same. That is, the amount of income should be equal. So I can equate these. So I have 9 by 75 times X is equals to, I have 10 by 80 times 9,800 minus X, right? Now if you solve this complete equation, which I'm not going to solve to save time, you'll get the value of X as 5,000, right? And that was the amount that was invested in the 9% stock. So the answer is option B. A invested some money in 10% stock at 96. If B wants to invest in an equally good 12% stock, he must purchase a stock worth of how much rupees? So we want to determine what should be the market value of this 12% stock. So if we talk about A and consider the face value of one stock is 100 rupees, I can say that the income is 10 because the dividend is 10% and the investment is 96 because the market value of the 10% stock is 96, right? Now in case of B, the face value, if we consider it as 100 to match that of A, the income is 12, right? Now if this 12% stock must be equally good as the 10% stock, what should be the investment, right? So this becomes directly proportional. So I can say that the 12% stock is as good as 10% stock if we calculate an appropriate value of x. So I can cross multiply and equate. I get x times 10 is equals to 96 times 12, right? So x is equals to 96 times 12 by 10, isn't it? And 96 times 12 is 1152. So the market value of the stock of 12% is basically 115.2 rupees. So the answer is option B.